Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday. It's June the 10th, and we've got not a full podcast today. We just have a bit of a recap. Of course, the Summer Games Fest happened today, right dead smack in the middle of what would have been the podcast time. So I covered that live on my stream, and Mr. Black and I will be back next week after all of the E3 stuff happens, which I will be covering as much as I can. As well, and trying to get you guys little updates like this along the way for those that don't keep up with this stuff on their social media feeds, etc., etc. So, without further ado, I'm just going to give a little quick recap of these things. It's not in depth. It will just give you an idea. If you do want to look any of these things up, it'll give you an idea of what you can look up. Mr. Keeley brought us all sorts of goodies, but of course there was one really big goodie, and I'm sure lots of people have already heard about it by now if it's a game that they're interested in, but let's kick it off with the first thing that I can remember, and that's that Jeff Goldblum was on the show. And really, you could have ended the show there because Jeff Goldblum. But he was bringing us what you might imagine. It's another Jurassic Park game. It's actually a follow-up to that, looks like the follow-up to that kind of tycoon-ish experience that we had a couple years ago. I guess that game did well enough to necessitate a second game. But he was there, and in only the way that Jeff Goldblum could do it, it was announced. We also have a Tiny Tina game, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands for 2022 for those Borderlands fans out there. Also, Salt and Sanctuary is getting a sequel in Salt and Sacrifice. Looks great, sounds great, is great, more than likely. Just like the first one, if I had to take a wild guess, but we'll find out when it arrives. Lost Ark got a trailer. That's the that MMO ARPG vibe that some people apparently have already been playing to some degree. I don't know if that's just like betas or alphas or whatever. But it was announced for the end of this year and looking pretty good. They got a trailer there for that. Chivalry 2 with 64 players available apparently now or sometime in the not too distant. For those of you who like to suit up and swing large swords trying to decapitate other people, great news. You can now do that against up to 63 other people. At least that's what it sounds like. Battle State, the Tarkov team, gave us another trailer for Escape from Tarkov for the content that's dropping soon that looked to also include some vehicles. It was like an APC or something like that in there. Otherwise, it was basically just how many hallways can this trailer walk down and how many guns can we fire in said hallways. It also looked like there was maybe some destructible environment type stuff, like a hallway wall got blown down or something. I don't know, but if you're a Tarkov fan, great news. There's more of that coming, and especially if you're a big fan of screen blur effects, because 90% of that was just screen blur. Tarkov, more coming. 2 Point Hospital, which is a pretty popular game, to say the least, is getting 2 Point Campus, a new game there. Taking all of the fun memes from 2 Point Hospital, cramming that into a university, college, safe space lifestyle. So you too can discover your sexuality in 2 Point Campus coming in 2022. Cuphead is getting a Netflix show. I think I already knew this before, but it is apparently getting a Netflix show. As well, they listed Splinter Cell to some degree. They said there was Splinter Cell in a Netflix list of things. I don't know what that means. It doesn't sound familiar to me, but hey, Cuphead show probably got pretty good chance of being okay. Splinter Cell, just the further proof that Sam Fisher and Splinter Cell will be in literally anything as long as it's not another Splinter Cell game because Ubisoft are fucking cowards. Stranger Things is getting a Smite crossover as Hopper and Eleven and the Demogorgon, I believe the Demogorgon is also included in this, join the field as characters to be played as. And you can imagine just kind of what comes along with that. If you're a fan of Smite, well then you might have already even known about this, but if not, well now you do. There you go. Following that, we had Prime Matter, which is a publisher trailer. Showing off all sorts of games under their belt. Payday 3 was shown off in there, as well as a new game from the Painkiller series. If you don't know what that is, it's probably because you're a Zoomer, and that's fine. To be honest, you didn't miss out on a lot, but if you want to hop on that train, great news. Painkiller, another game coming. Couldn't tell you when, but it's coming. I don't even know if I know how to pronounce the name of this trailer, but or this game, Anacrusis or Anarchrusis. Anyway, it looked like a C-tier Left 4 Dead in space if everyone pretended it was 1969. That's what I have written in my notes, and I'm sticking to my guns. Rocket League is bringing out the Fast 9 cars. So if you're playing Rocket League right now and you're looking for a little bit more Rocket League with a little bit more Fast and the Furious flavor, great news, you're getting it. Furthering that, we had Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline Steelbook Collector's Edition, not from Concentrate. I only have 3 jokes, and this is 4 of them. We got another little taste of that, and reminded that the game has been in development since before many of you have been born, and will continue to be in development for some time, eventually coming out in, I don't know, fucking next year or something, I don't know. At this point, even if they could tell you it's out tomorrow, probably not. I would just wait until it's in your hands. Don't believe anything. From the team that brought us Until Dawn, House of Ashes, another one of their games coming up in October. So if you're a fan of that team and or their games, well, you got more of that coming in the not too distant. Tales of Arise, bringing action, combat, and great visuals this September as well. And along with it, all of the cringy anime dialogue you can get your hands on. Following that, we had Overwatch 2 skins. If I had a button to cue cricket sounds, I'd do it here. D&D Dark Alliance got a gameplay trailer, of which I have to go back and catch, because I didn't get to catch that trailer at the time when it happened, but hey, D&D Dark Alliance, lots of people probably pretty excited about that. Monster Hunter Stories 2, I know at least 3 people on my Twitter timeline that are probably crying tears of joy that this exists and got such a deep trailer. It's called the Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin. It's coming this summer, July 9th, apparently. And there was like 5 or 6 splash screens at the end that had a bunch of the details about things like amiibos and crossover promotional shit and all sorts. It was kind of like when you go to a used car salesman and he just throws so much information at you that you don't even know what you're listening to, but it sounds kind of good, so you're gonna buy it. It was kind of like that, except just in end cards. Following that, we had Endless Dungeon trailer. Still looks bland, in case you were wondering. I can save you some time on that. Deviation Games developer is announced, so that a new developer, as in that's the developer themselves being more or less announced. It's guys that split off from Treyarch, Jason Blundell at the helm, who I believe, if Foxy is to be believed, that he was the guy that ran up a fair chunk of the zombie stuff for Treyarch. Back for Blood beta is coming this summer. The boss teaser was shown off, launching October 12th. That's the old Left 4 Dead team that couldn't legally make Left 4 Dead, but they made it as close to Left 4 Dead as possible without being left for sued. Tunic demo, exclusive to Xbox, is coming this Tuesday. If you don't know what Tunic is, it's that really cutesy Fox top-down, like isometric Legend of Zelda game that has been around the circuit now for like half a friggin' decade. Apparently that's finally going to get a demo. It's coming exclusively, like I said, to the Xbox this Tuesday. So if you are looking for adorable Zelda vibes, then you can get your hands on that. Tribes of Midgard was shown off July 27th, PlayStation and PC. That's when it's dropping, and it got a trailer. Action survival, kind of looks like Valheim meets Diablo. Viking stuff. You guys like that, right? Evil Dead the Game trailer was shown off. It's got co-op PvE and PvP a la Dead by Daylight is what I would describe it as, coming in 2021. Honestly, doesn't look like they spent $5 on it. You know, the animations and graphics actually look quite good. Game could actually be something pretty decent. Fans of Dead by Daylight might actually get their hands on that, I suspect. Seems like something that might be of interest to them. And furthering that, we had, the big one. Yes, the One Ring, the cock ring. Elden Ring, finally shown off. Mr. Jeff Keighley managed to get the exclusive, super amazing first scene, full trailer Elden Ring. The game exists, and it even got a launch date. January 21st of 2022 is the launch date for Elden Ring. It looked an awful lot like every other game that FromSoft has made, which is not bad. It just, you know what you're getting into. You know exactly what you're getting. Oh yes, and also, my apologies, I missed something that was very early on. Jeff Keighley managed to get his good friend and possibly lover, Hideo Kojima, on to talk briefly about what's coming up next out of their studio. And then, of course, they had one more thing to show, hashtag one more thing. And that was a Death Stranding director's cut. They did a little cutesy thing where they kind of alluded to Metal Gear, where the Death Stranding, Norman Reedus' character's taking a box off a shelf and he's jumping in it and shit. It's kind of cutesy. You can watch that. But there you go. That's pretty much the gist of it. There may be a couple of other things strewn about, but that's the more or less the high points. I will be doing. Excuse me, the indigestion is real. I will be doing as much of these announcements as I can for E3 coming up. The weekend is full of them. I believe Microsoft's big due with the Bethesda deal is on Sunday, I believe. And so I'll do as many of these kind of recappy things as I can to keep you guys updated on the RSS feeds for Technical Alpha. Of course, you can if you want to watch me do any of this stuff live, if I'm even allowed to. I don't know. E3 is like so archaic and weird. I'm not even sure if I can restream it yet. But either way, it will be on my own personal Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/NovaWar. Everyone listening to this probably already knows that anyway, but regardless, there you go. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you guys are staying safe out there and enjoying yourselves. The regular podcast will, of course, be back next week, where I'll be going over, the high points of everything that comes up here in the coming days, to throw that at Jeff while he looks like a zombie directly into his camera and pretends that he's paying attention, possibly playing poker and making more money than I do in a year on the side while I talk about video game news. So you can look forward to that for next week. And until then, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for supporting on Patreon as always. Stay safe and peace!